we start this exciting topic. We have a new guest, an amazing guest from Greece, Nikolaos, which is one of the founder of HotelLab, a very promising revenue management system technology. Maybe Nikolaos, you can do some introduction of yourself.
Thanks, Enzo. And apologies for my voice. I'm a bit sick. We had a lot of registrants, so obviously didn't feel like canceling. I'm extremely happy that you guys actually invited me for this webinar. My name is Nikos. I'm the co-founder of HotelLab. I'm in revenue management for almost 10 years and a proud user of HyperGuest for my own hotel. Aida, don't forget to mention that in your own presentation. As soon as my part of the presentation starts, I will be glad to tell you a little bit more about what we do. But of course, today the focus is to complement you guys about managing multiple rate codes, which is quite complex. Because outside of the very big and enterprise revenue management systems, when we speak about a revenue management system, it's typically about managing one public rate, the ban. But today's topic is about managing multiple public rates. It's about managing promotion rates, which are derived rates. So how can someone manage a bunch of different rate codes without getting confused? I'll be very happy to tell you about that in a while.
Fantastic. So it looks like very exciting. And Aida, maybe you can do some introduction of yourself.
Yes, so this is Aida. Aida Llamas. I'm working for HyperGuest nearly close to 2 years now, and I'm taking care of the account management team. So we are the ones that are helping you out on those strategies that you want to place ahead for all of the plus 600 demand partners that we have right now within our marketplace, and many more to come.
All right. So it's clear that today the webinar is going to be structured more or less like we did last time. It's me going to make some sort of initial introduction on the topic. Then I will pass the word to Aida to showcase some example on how to set up rep planning promotions in a very dynamic and efficient way. And then we leave the word to Nikolaos, as in his expertise in revenue management. I'm curious to know more about from you, Nikolaos. Cool. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. Second. Here we are. Okay. I please ask the audience, can you picture? Oh, shit. Can I ask the audience, please? Can you just give us a confirmation you can hear us well, the audio is coming correctly, and you see my slides, please? Let's wait some feedback. Okay, so there is some. All right, perfect. So again, it's me, Aida, and Nikolaos today. Precision pricing, crafting the perfect rate planning promotion is the topic. Unlock the secret of targeting your audience and boosting revenue. And this is going to be the agenda. So we have an initial introduction about what is precision pricing, why precision pricing matter, understanding your target audience, crafting tailored rate plan and strategic promotion. Then we will share some tools and tactics for success, for example, HyperGuest in this case, and HotelLab. And then we leave some space for a Q&A session if you have any questions. Anyway, you have the chat, the Q&A section on the platform. And meanwhile, we are doing this presentation. You can already post some question if you have something. Maybe we can break some time between a slide and another and try to provide any clarification you may. All right. So the power of precision pricing, which are the key elements? This is again, from my perspective, I'm not the best ref manager out there, but I have my little experience and this is what I try to share according to my knowledge. Okay. So agree or not agree, for me, segmentation based pricing, dynamic adjustment, and granular data utilization are the three key elements to enter in this particular space. When it comes to segmentation, price are adjusted based on customer characteristics. There are different ways we create segmentation. Might be based on demographic, booking behavior, or the reason of travel. corporate, leisure, and actually there is also leisure. Or also by channel. It can be an OTA, it can be a GDS booking, can be based on geography or maybe through a loyalty program. Okay. So each reservation has its own part of the life. Okay. And in order to make a proper analysis, is normally hotels need to adapt a specific segmentation. Actually, I would suggest also to create a sub-segmentation and so on. Okay. It is important because at some point when you create and extract data, you need to understand from each segment pros and cons, and this will help you to make a very detailed analysis. From the dynamic price adjustment, is not we're talking about dynamic pricing, okay, which adapt in real time and reflect changing market condition, demand, high demand, low demand, competitive landscape. And in many cases, of course, this is becoming very crucial. Adapting the price according to demand require a lot of elasticity, a lot of dynamic approach, and more nowadays hotels are using technology for that, at least a revenue management system. And this is something that we will discover later with Nikolaos. And then on top of everything, data is the key. If you want to come up with an answer, there is a famous quote: "Without data, you are not a person with an opinion." So like, we are living in an era where data is the key. Any decision is data driven. So, success in your revenue, in your distribution strategy, much depend on the way you extract and elaborate the analysis of your data, which might be a wide range of data points, such as booking window, length of stay, seasonality, customer acquisition costs, and so on. Then you have external factor like there is a big event going on in my destination, or there is a big high season or holiday, or the competitor rates are creating some waves in the industry, and automatically this is impacting also our price decision. Well, this is just a funny way visual to represent the difference between dynamic and static distribution, in terms of price. With a static price, of course, you match a single segment, a single type of clients. With dynamic price, you have the possibility to match different demand, different segments, and so on. So meaning you can adapt to diverse segments, demand segment, maximizing reach and revenue. This is a chart that I shared already a couple of webinars ago, but I wanted to pick it up again just because I had a very positive feedback. A lot of people request me this chart. This is, of course, an example the way you may create your segmentation. And again, you may have all of those more sub-segments, but this is the right point to start. In general, when I was playing as a revenue manager, I was utilizing those 5 simple, like my channel. You have your brand.com, you have OTAs, GDS, B2B distribution, then you have regional travel, so the type of guests. So it might be a transient, a groups, a repeating customer, a corporate customer, or by guest profile. It's a couple, it's a group of friends, it's a family, all based on nationality. And then this is very important, and this might represent a sub-segment for each of those segments. The booking pattern, when those booking are landing, the day of the week, high-low season, during an event, a bank holiday, and so on. So this is very important in order to understand, based on the large segments, how to adapt the price. And then you have something which is growing more and more in the last few years. This very hot topic, increasing direct booking, is becoming important. So at the end of the day, you have many segments, but on top of everything, you have direct bookings and intermediate bookings. Then you have your product to sell. Okay. So this might be through rate plan and promotion. When you create rate plan and promotion, basically you are just creating a different, let's say, way to visualize your dynamic pricing. So this might be through a standard rate or a package or last minute deal or an early bird discount if it's plan related. In terms of promotion, there are different ways you can create promotion based on the seasonality again. If it's a loyal client, so an exclusive membership or an event-based promotion. Okay, so you might have, and this doesn't mean that this is a discount promotion, right? Sometimes promotion might be related to a particular restriction. So you don't want to hire too much the price, but you want to put a condition that for a particular event, the minimum stay is 2, 3 nights, for example. Okay, so there are different ways you can combine them. And then, of course, align demand using dynamic pricing strategy. Again, it's a relevant aspect because this immediately collect information, react on data points, and the output is the price you have to set. Why we do all that? Of course, there are different objectives, but for me, ADR, boosting occupancy, and GOPAR are the three aspects very important that moves all your decision around the rate plan and promotion.
And if you allow me to add, Enzo, apologies
Sure,
for
I
it's also very important to consider why we do all that, including creating more rate plans, is to automate things. Whenever the demand is changing, we already have a built-in rate plan for that, and we can open at the right time. Because creating and mapping a promotion last minute can be quite hard, especially distributing a last minute rate to someone might not work because, the technology in today's hospitality technology landscape is quite ancient. Not everyone is as advanced as you guys. So it's very much recommendable to have these rate plans pre-built and mapped so that you can open them and close them when you need them because it makes things faster and smoother.
In fact, I have 3 example. One in particular you mentioned last minute, which I was using in the past. I'm sure that now many hotels are adopting this approach, and this is one of my favorites. I'll show you now. One aspect very important. We step here now into the distribution. Okay, uh, when you talk about packages, promotion, rate plan, specific condition, and combination of creating a, let's say, a campaign. You want to have a specific campaign and try to grow your business in France. Let's say you are an hotel in Rome. You want to incentivize, for example, and market French speaking. Particularly, you want to dedicate this particular campaign to a segment of travel agent, tour operator sitting in France. How you can do that? Trying to knock the door to players like Booking or the Beds Expedia. That's not feasible, right? So of course, they are not creating a campaign dedicated to your hotel property. Actually, they do the other way around. So you accept to participate in a specific campaign when those big platforms are creating those campaigns. And then you have to adapt to their vision. Where is possible now, if you want to have a larger visibility to your promotion, you can do so through platform, for example, like HyperGuest is possible. And I'll show you how. Or through your website or through social media. You want to have, you can own and define the way you want to create advertising and promoting through content marketing through social media. Or you can do through a loyalty program. If you are part of a group, a large hotel group, of course, you can do so by targeting your members or by phone. You get a phone call from a client, and this is still nowadays a very important channel. And then, of course, you can customize a promotion through phone. Again, this is possible through those particular channels. Where are those large players? It's not possible. Those are 3 examples. Okay, those are 3 examples the way you can create a 3 very efficient package or last minute, whatever you want. One is last minute, one is your target, and one is bisect. Okay, the last minute one is sell. The objective is selling as much room as possible in a short time. Lost, right? And but at the same time, you need to avoid to lowering rates last minutes. Okay, imagine you are selling your standard rooms, $200, 3 days booking window that you still have a lot of availability. What do? You lower the price. That's what happens frequently. No, correct me if I'm wrong. Please use the chat and let me know if this is the case. Then you have your target. So you want to offer an exclusive market specific rates to drive target demand and boost booking in a specific region. And at the same time, broaden market reach by increasing your brand exposure. No, so in this way you can also be more visible. Imagine this deep B2B landscape on the travel agent display. And then by segment, so I cover new channels and new point of sales opportunity. You want to connect with new players, give them the possibility to book specific condition, better condition than any other platform. Try to establish and taste those new players. So you want to taste a new player. The best way to do it is giving them some flexible and convenient condition. This way you can see if they are effectively a potential partner for your hotel. How to do so? From the last minute, that's the example. Set up a flexible run of house room category with a specific discount, X percentage. Okay. Out from the standard room, of course, and from the best available rate. And tailor your revenue goal. Okay. So activate this last minute rate plan as needed to optimize occupancy and capture spontaneous bookings. In this way, you avoid to lowering the price. So your standard is at $200. You are opening this last minute 3 days before check-in. Instead of lowering the standard, you open a new product which was not visible and available before, which represent a cheaper price compared to the standard, which is your cheaper room. So you open a run of house, might be like, I don't know, an economy. You can call it as light as you want. Then you can assign the room type on the check-in. Doesn't matter if you have it or not have it, this type of room. You just need to open this availability when it's convenient for you without lowering the price of the standard. This will give you the possibility in the short term to materialize probably an efficient number of bookings you need. For the geo target, so you will need to identify initially your specific target audience you want to incentivize, and you can provide them exclusive discount, preferential sales condition, much more flexibility. If you have, for example, in a particular period, some particular restriction, try to be more flexible on this particular nationality, try to make some taste. It's not about opening the tap and that's it. You can open and control the availability according to your objective. And of course, you have to determine the product offering, which is the value added compared to other geographical nationality. You want to offer a breakfast included or not included, or you can have access to the spa, the gym, something that is giving a clear difference product by product. This way, you can give the opportunity to specific region to access better condition. Okay, so this is the way you try to incentivize. Use creativity, of course, depending also on your type of hotels. If you have a spa, you can use and leverage a spa. If you are a business oriented, you can use meeting rooms, for example, or particular executive room that are larger and provide space for meeting and business. Or by segment, so develop dedicated rate plan design exclusively for niche channels. Okay. To effectively test those channels, it is necessary to offer more flexible sales conditions compared to other traditional channels. Additionally, ensure that the distribution costs for those new channels are significantly lower than those of traditional B2C and B2C and B2B channels. Aida, your turn now. Let's go into practice. How I'm an hotel. I want to create one or all of those examples last minute your target and by segment channel. Give us a clear example of how we can do so through HyperGuest.
Okay. So thank you, Enzo. So now that Enzo explained quite a few strategies, let's put into action how to exactly do this through HyperGuest. You can do all of these. Enzo mentioned some other parts, but let's see how we can do that within HyperGuest. So let's say this is our back office. I'm gonna set it up very simple. But then afterwards, whoever wants to know more, the account management team is here for that. Let's create, first of all, this is our hotel. This is a test hotel. We have a lot of rooms, but let's create, Enzo said, the run of the house, okay, room. This run of the house, it doesn't matter, like Enzo said, if you have it or not. I'm just going to place very basic information right now. And for the purpose of just showing you how it is, you can add as many information as you wish in order to add all of those facilities or add as a package like the spa, the gym access, and so on. But I'm not going to do that right now. you have all the different rate plans that you can connect to. So let's start by the room. So now I have created the room, and in a few seconds, I would say I have the run of the house room. Now I need to link that room to a last minute. That's what we want to create, a last minute rate plan. So I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to create a new rate plan, and I can give, once again, as many information as I wish. I can find the description here, place the description and so on. We were saying, let's connect that last minute rate plan to the bar. So that's what we can do. We can link it. If we don't want, we cannot do it. We are able not to, but let's say that we are linking it right now. And what we are doing here is, I am saying that for every time this rate plan is open, I want to apply a 25% discount, for example, or I could choose to apply a fixed amount. So it's up to the hotel. What do you want to do? Once I've done that, I can save it. And right now I have my last minute rate plan created. Now I'm gonna just go a little bit behind, and this
Aida,
sorry,
Aida,
yes.
sorry to interrupt you. Just to reinforce this aspect of targeting and creating those promotions. How many demands connected we have right now on HyperGuest?
It's a 600 plus. I cannot remember the
Okay.
exact number, but around 600.
So potentially an hotel connected in HyperGuest can reach out to those demands if they wish, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Potentially they can. So let's say at the moment, I will show later on how we can do that. But at the moment, I'm not placing any restrictions. So I'm saying I'm creating this last minute rate plan that I want the full marketplace or the full marketplace within HyperGuest to be sold that. So let's say that is open and bookable and visible by everyone. Okay. I'm not placing restrictions right now. I will so in a later stage. So let's connect. I have the room. I have the rate plan. Let's connect the rate to the room. So that's what I'm doing. I'm on the rate plan, the last minute rate plan, and I'm saying that I just want that rate plan to be applied with that percentage discount to this particular room. I'm saving that, and that's all. That's done. Then once I have the prices, the discounts will be automatically applied based in everything on my bar rate. And after that, I am able to see all of that within my calendar. At the moment, this is not yet populated, but that will be seen here. Okay, so that was the first example. Within minutes, we have created that rate plan, that room that can go without any restriction to more than 600 partners. Let's create now some market geo promotions. For example, Enzo was saying before, let's create an offer that goes to a particular demand located in a particular market. Let's imagine for that, I need to go into our contracting module. Okay. Our contracting module is just there to offer all of the different conditions that we want to for our distribution. In this case, what we are doing, we will be creating a promotion where I'm saying I want to give these particular conditions to these particular demand partners, to these particular agencies. So let's say that I want to give it this name, market promo, and I'm starting to settle the conditions. So if the demand organization country is that of, I Enzo, you mentioned France, then this is something very simple. Then I want to adjust my
Aida,
price. Yes.
Aida, we are still see the tableau, huh? All the red plan.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
now it's fine.
Now, so sorry. So this is our marketplace. I will just start again. And this is where I can create all of my promotion, default terms, and so on. Let's concentrate on promotions right now. So I'm going to create, you have some setups that you have already halfway created, but let's do something that it is specific for us. So let's create now our market promo. So I'm adding some conditions. To apply the conditions that I want, that the demand partner or the agency is from a particular country. I'm just saying, settling the example that you mentioned. So if the demand organization, if the agency is from France, then I want to adjust my price and subtract 25%. As you can see below here, it's automatically creating
Any percentage. This is an example. Doesn't
any.
mean
This
that
is an
everyone
example.
needs to do minus 25%. I can do also by minus 5%, right?
Yes, that's something I wanted to say. You anticipated me, and you have the summary, which is important. I can save it and I can apply that. But imagine that you reach your goal of selling X amount of rooms or getting some X amount of revenue. What you can do, because you are in charge of your distribution, you can do as you wish with this tool within HyperGuest. What you can do is to come back and say, I want to lower this and I want to go to 15 right now because I want to slow down a little bit. So I'm able to do so whenever I wish. I can save it. It will just ask me if I want to confirm or not. But I want to show you something that this is something very simple, but I could continue adding conditions. So I could say that if the demand organization is from France, I want to apply that 15% discount. But I could continue to say that the stay dates need to be before, I don't know, April 30th. And I could continue to add and say the number of days. So as a minimum stay, they need to be 5. So I could go into much more detailed, in a much more detailed offer, or I just can keep it simple. It's up to us. We can start, like Enzo said, like from a very high level offer with just the country of the demand partner of the agency and the price, and then start placing some more conditions as when we have a look at what is going on and we control and we can check it and let's say redesign our strategy basing ourselves on the data that we are collecting. I can save this. It will ask me if I want to confirm and I will say yes. So that was the second example. And the third example, in the end, we can manage it quite similarly as the market promo. So I'm choosing to have an offer just for one particular segment. So let's imagine that I want to do just a wholesaler. I'm going to say in this case that if the agency, so we call it demand, if the agency is one of a wholesaler, then the action, so if it is the wholesaler, I'm going to adjust again my price and I'm going to subtract X% once again. But I could decide as well that as wholesalers, sometimes they use some other kind of rates. I could decide that rather than subtracting percentage, I can set up the price at, I don't know, at 200. So I could decide to give a special, let's say, condition to set the price at 200. Okay. Now, again, I could continue adding conditions. I can leave this by subtracting 25%. I could continue adding conditions if the plan code is one of bar. So if I want to apply this only to my bar rates, I'm able to decide that if the demand is a wholesaler and the rate plan is a bar, then I'm going to adjust the price by 25%, lowering by 25%. And again, this is up to you that after 2 hours, that the day after you come back and you decide to increase, decrease according to your needs. And I can continue adding conditions and going in a much more sophisticated offer. Now, this is only, I would say, the end of things. So we are placing here promotions with the prices that we have within our extranet. But before placing all of these offers within our extranet, I think there is an important job, which is that of creating the right prices. And this is where I would like to pass on the word to Nico.
Yeah. Before you start, Nico,
Yes.
I'll share my screen once again. And I'll explain you why I wanted to strongly have this conversation today, this topic. I shared already some webinar back at this chart. This is a case study. Okay. So if we are presenting this opportunity, it's not because we think it's a nice idea. We know for sure that this is producing a huge amount of revenue, depending on the way you want to go out to the market. So this is an important hotel group in Egypt, just hotel group. It's about, I think, 35 resorts. And the geo-targeting offer, actually, this idea started actually from that. So they called us. They were already collaborating with HyperGuest. And after discussing with those big players, Booking, Expedia, Advance, and so on, they were not able to create this campaign. They wanted to target Egyptian travelers, give them a best condition, cheaper price than any other market. They wanted to incentivize the internal travelers. After speaking with those platforms, they got pushback everywhere. They called us and present this opportunity. Okay, let's create this rate plan, this promotion, and target only the Egyptian travelers. We did it in a matter of few minutes. We turned it on, and from the day after this promotion went live, this is the chart showing the booking coming every week from the Egyptians. When we started the promotion, this gave a boost of 600%. So they had a 600 immediate growth of booking from Egyptian travelers. This meaning that with one market offer across all our ecosystem, 21 partners connected to HyperGuest were interested and booked those properties. Out of the 35 resort, 29 properties were, and again, 600% immediate growth on Egyptian travelers. Right. This all from my side. I share the word to you, Nico. I know you want to give a master class now and get ready. You can share your screen and start.
Thank you so much, Enzo and Aida. Apologies once again, I'm a bit sick, so that's why you hear my voice as such. But the topic is quite cool, and you guys are amazing, so I wouldn't skip this. I would not have skipped that. So let's start. With HotelLab, we offer a personalized revenue management platform. It's a very anti-black box approach from many revenue management systems that exist today in the market. We actually are also specialized in leisure properties and resorts. And today, while the presentation will be generic about any hotels using multiple rate plans and promotions, I will also have some slides that will speak specifically about resorts, considering the fact that your topic, Enzo, is gearing towards resorts because all these promotions and packages are mainly used by resorts. So here would be few of our clients, by the way, in Egypt, but also in other countries internationally, including Greece, where we are the leading revenue management system as of last year that we start working on this particular market. We're working for the last 5 years on the market. Today, about 340 properties trust us, and the average experience, the average revenue management experience of our team is between 5 to 23 years. Founder of HotelLab is Anatoly Burdakov with an international experience and 12 plus years in revenue management. And head of the product development is Alexei Kovrigin, who's been in revenue management for literally almost 25 years. Before joining us, he used to be at Ideas responsible for developing RevPlan, which is the total financial BI developed by Ideas. So today, I will break my presentation into 3 parts. First, and very briefly, very high level, the day-to-day challenges that hoteliers are facing. Then we will move into bar level pricing, and then we will go into more advanced pricing strategies that include open pricing, where we're actually able to manage multiple price points at the same time. We will close this by speaking about managing non-public rates, because obviously when we speak about B2B rates, these are derived rates, as also Aida discussed earlier. These rates would be based on bar or on other non-refundable, but obviously it's not part of a revenue management system to recommend what the price should be for HyperGuest or for hotel beds because typically this is dictated by a contract. But still, there is quite some things that we can do when it comes to derived rates. I'm also very happy, Enzo and Aida, that we have a lot of our clients that have joined today. I counted quite a few from Bulgaria, from Estonia, from Egypt, from Greece, from Czech Republic. So I want to say hello to everyone. And by the way, for some of you that joined our webinar last week, few of our slides will be duplicated with the webinar that we had last week, but we will take this a little bit more advanced this time. So lots of slides will be new. So definitely stick until then. So let's go. Part number 1, main challenges that hoteliers face. First and foremost, daily routine overload. Now, as I stated earlier, I became a year back a co-owner of a small 25 seasonal resort in Greece, and we're also proud HyperGuest user. And being both a co-founder at HotelLab and an owner of a hotel, trust me, I would never have all the world, all the time I need in my life to be able to take this many decisions every single day when it comes to revenue management. This is just the start. So it's quite complex. And the more we move into the presentation, we will see that if we want to use a more advanced pricing strategy that includes managing multiple rates and crafting multiple rate plans, it's almost not possible to do that manually. Next, what is AI? What is machine learning? And can we actually trust AI? Now, there is a lot of discussion about ChatGPT, but do we really trust AI? And I started my career in revenue management in January 2015 in Dubai. So next month, it's going to be my first 10-year anniversary in revenue management. And I can tell you that today, it really feels that there is a huge distrust in general about artificial intelligence and what is happening without this black box that lots of people, or actually most of people, can't understand. So is it really about the best algorithm in the world, or is it about best hoteliers in the world tailor-making their strategies and actually automating their day-to-day tactics using different tools, including revenue management systems and great platforms like HyperGuest? Let's continue until we try and answer this question. Now, before going into very advanced pricing scenarios, let's see how we can price a property manually using a bar rate grid scenario. So here we can see that the more advanced the pricing strategy is, the less money we're leaving on the table. That's why it's really good to move away from static pricing to seasonal pricing, occupancy-based pricing. Lots of hotels still in Greece, that is our core market, are on occupancy-based pricing into more advanced tactics. But if we want to leave as least possible money on the table, we need to go on a full open pricing strategy. So, since HyperGuest is a B2B technology solution, it is very important that the core principles of absolutely any successful pricing strategy and architecture is that B2B prices need to always be cheaper than B2B prices. This is the golden rule. And I'm not here to tell you whether it should be 20 or 23 or 17 in certain cases for smaller travel agencies. But this is the golden principle. It's really funny enough that once hoteliers will load Booking.com with a bunch of promotions like Genius and mobile and last minute discount, etc., they have absolutely no clue why they're distributing, let's say, a price from their channel manager of 100 euros, but the price that they're receiving in the DMS is for the value of 60 euros. At the same time, I'm not against applying all this bunch of promotions on any channel, but it's very important to understand that the moment you apply these promotions on B2B channels, B2C channels, or you have to apply the same promotions on B2B channels, or just your production from B2B channels will be dead. Because obviously no B2B channel can sell you if your price on Booking.com is lower. So let's continue working on our first scenario of a rate grid very quickly for the next 3 to 5 minutes. Some of our attendees also saw a few of these slides last week. And then we continue going into more advanced pricing strategies. So this would be an example of a rate grid. I have a property, I have 3 seasons, low, shoulder, and high. And I'm going to say that when my occupancy or the expected demand is going to be low, I'm going to be using bar 8 or bar 9. So this would be priced at 110 or 100 euros. Now, bar 8 and bar 9 in the shoulder season would be obviously higher because it's a different season and we expect the demand to be stronger. And for the terms of simplifications, let's say that the difference from first to second room type is going to be always fixed. 30 euros for the second room type, 60 euros for the next, etc., etc. And this will be fixed for all bar levels. So both bar level 9 and bar level 1, but also for all seasons, bar, so season low, season shoulder, and season high. Now, by doing so, and by keeping the golden principles in mind that we discussed earlier, what have we completed in our own hotel? So let's say that this hotel has 6 room types. We already spoke about the 3 seasons, and we only have 3 rate plans, nothing super extreme. Our flexible prices, non-refundable, and an additional 5% discount if you stay 3 nights extra, as also Enzo implied in the very beginning, right? There can always be a fence for the additional discount. There's only one golden principle we will keep in mind. Of course, sometimes a local travel agency cannot have such a great promotional rate as the big wholesalers. So typically, with the B2B rates, there would be 2 or 3 tiers of price. And then we will calculate only pricing scenarios when it comes to base occupancy. So we won't add into the calculation additional meals, extra beds, extra adults, extra children, etc. Because typically these are supplements, and typically most advanced revenue managers, and I'm sure that with your vast experience, Enzo and Aida, in the industry, you will agree that typically it's ideal to discount the base rate and then the supplement and it on top. So what have we created? We have basically created 12 different rate codes. And if we combine every single room type with every single rate code combination, we have 72 room rate combination for a particular season. This multiplied by 9 bar level per season brings the total calculation to almost 2,000 possible price points. And this is without considering any loyalty, as we discussed earlier, Genius, and any last minute or specific country discount. That's quite a lot to manage manually, but trust me, that is definitely possible to be managed manually. So this one we would call bar pricing on demand with the fixed room type supplements. And this on the Maslow hotel pricing strategy, which is our own revenue management concept, would be a level 3 of how advanced you can get with your revenue management and pricing strategy. Now, when it comes to level 3, this is something that can be done manually and has been done manually for many decades. But if we speak, and that's exactly what we're going to explore in the next slides, about more advanced pricing strategies, open pricing on demand with fixed room type supplements, or open pricing on demand and dynamic room type supplements, things are trying and getting a little bit out of control if we speak that we want to manage them manually. We will close it off with the most advanced pricing strategy which exists today, which is open pricing on demand on all rate codes. That would include not only my best flexible rate, but it also include any discount and derived rates, which in this particular case, obviously, would include B2B prices, right? Because B2B rates are derived. So we would typically say that you can reach up to level 3 without any revenue management system. But if you want to go more advanced, and especially to level 5 or 6, technically not possible to do it without automation and tools, because things get very complicated very fast. And this is how a scenario of open pricing would look. In this particular scenario, we can see that while the demand for Tuesday, 24th of December, has increased for the first room type, so apparently there is a good pickup curve, or maybe we are within the booking window. However, the demand for the higher room types has actually decreased. This means that our day-to-day tactics or strategies would significantly depend on the room types, and room types would have different behaviors, including different booking window, including different cancellation windows, and including, by the way, different nationalities wanting to book these room types. I'm pretty much sure that though Just Promotion was extremely super successful, however, there would be potentially, hypothetically, targeting more of the entry room type levels. It would be maybe too complicated within the local network to sell a presidential or an exclusive suite that would be priced at 5,000 euros to the local market. This is not to say, Enzo and Aida, that this is not a very successful tactic. It is indeed a very successful tactic, but the behavior is different depending on different room types. And we need to start thinking that in hotels, all these are different type of products, and we need to work on optimizing every single one of them independently. And this is one example where I just basically took one of our hotels, which by the way is located in Egypt. And what I want to visualize for you here, that when it comes to the first two room types of this property, so these would be the entry level room types, the booking window is significantly different than the booking window for the high end suites, which would be the the most expensive room types within this property. What does this mean? This would actually mean that if we want to switch on an open pricing level and basically price every single, I repeat, room type individually, we would need to analyze all data that we analyze at the hotel. I don't know, pickup versus forecast versus budget, length of stay analysis, booking window analysis on a room type level. Just imagine whether that is possible or not for a hotel with 10 room types, or just imagine whether it's possible for a group of 5 hotels with 50 or 200 rooms each. Of course, I don't want to reintroduce analysis paralysis, as I call it, because there are lots of revenue managers in, especially independent properties, who are spending most of their time on non-revenue generating activities, on just making reports. Of course, there is this part of Excel reporting in revenue management, but obviously revenue management is not about making all these reports. And if you make all these reports day after day, who will actually have time to think what should be our next promotion and how shall we, let's say, increase our booking care for a particular market because it's not in line with their expectations. Typically, a hotel wouldn't have the time to think about these things because they would be basically stuck in doing reports all day from morning until night. So let's be honest, how much time do we spend on reporting? And is it actually feasible to have a very successful strategy to analyze all these data on a room type level and not on hotel level, right? So that would be booking window, occupancy, segmentation, sub-segments, as also Enzo said earlier, booking base, competitor rates, right? Behavior of competitors, who is available, who's not available. It's quite a huge amount of data that we need to analyze if we want to go to a more advanced pricing strategy like open pricing, which obviously would allow us to live as stated. That is the core principle, less money on the table. And now let's very quickly switch to the most advanced level, which is level 6, where basically we would be able not only price on a full open pricing our master rate code par, but we can also price completely, or not completely, but partially independently also our derived rates. So typically when I would be working with the par level approach, my discounts would be fixed. 15% of bar would be basically maybe the rates I'm offering to corporates, or maybe 20% would be the discount that I'm offering to everyone that is connected through HyperGuest. And of course, creating more and more rate plans in order to be able to open and close them as needed, as we said earlier, right? So I can have a last minute 10% discount. I can have an early booking 30% discount, but I can also have an early booking 20% discount. So when I close the early booking 30% discount, I can open the early booking 20% discount, right? Depending on the booking window and basically on what I want to achieve. But if we speak about open pricing on any rate code, we could basically say that I want the discount that I'm offering to my corporate segment, and let's say this corporate preferred segment, because obviously if we're speaking about last room available, that might not be subject to price negotiation. Any price that would be discounted by 1% from my master rate code and up to 15% discount. And then basically allow the revenue management system to price independently based on the expected demand. The same thing I can also do with B2B players. Now, I'm not here to imply to offer a less commission than you've contracted with the players like hotel beds, web beds, etc. But actually, what's the difference of someone asking you, let's do a flash promotion 10%, instead of you automatically for a particular market, for a particular booking window, and for a particular length of stay, as Aida explained us very well by guiding us through the HyperGuest extranet, why not automating this process? That you know what? When the forecast is less than 80% or 70%, actually you can be more aggressive and you can discount B2B prices more, because I actually want to build a base first before discounting less and before pushing for higher ADR, right? So there could be any different strategies that I want to apply, but how easy would it be enter my PMS and channel manager and say that from 15th of January until 25th of January booking window, because it's not picking up now, I want to basically increase the discount from wholesalers from bar minus 20 to bar minus 30. So all these things can be automating, moving into more advanced pricing strategies. And based on the Maslow pyramid, this would be open pricing on all rate code. So this would be an example of how our vision is and how we are going to implement it as HotelLab early next year. As stated earlier, we don't want to offer one more black box for the market. We actually want to offer a strategical revenue management tool that can be aligned with your goals. And only after it is being aligned with your goals, you can click the button autopilot and basically automate your day-to-day tactical routines. So with HotelLab, we're building a quite new and interesting model, which is called pricing strategies, where you can go and build any strategies that you wish on a rate code level in combination with any other factors that also Enzo and Aida mentioned earlier, like booking window, booking days before arrival, minimum length of stay combination, and mix that for all room types or for particular room types. That would basically allow me to precisely control multiple price points, including derived rates, right? Because it's not only about increasing bar level up or decreasing bar level, it's much more about the whole pricing structure rather than about bar pricing. Closing off few more slides. And what about non-public rates, right? Because lots of them are not public rates. And because, of course, not every property would be a 30 room in the city center of London that can be basically full with only direct bookings and OTAs. Big properties, including big groups like Jazz, would need multiple segments because otherwise they can't be full and they can't achieve their financial goals. Therefore, how can we work on opening and closing different types of segments and rates that are linked to these particular segments, depending on our goal, strategies, but also expected forecast. Here, very importantly, and especially for resorts, and since we spoke about jazz, we need to differentiate what is yieldable rate codes and what is non-yieldable. So when it comes to yieldable rate codes, this would be rate codes that are subject to stop sale at any given port, so we can come and close them at any time. Like most of our B2B wholesale rates would be as such. But if we are a heavily tour operated property working with TUI, then maybe we have some guaranteed allotment in place. So this would be non-yieldable rate code, and that's why they're not subject to stop sale. So obviously, as a revenue management system that is also specialized in resorts, we need to work and differentiate which rate code can be closed and which rate codes cannot be closed. So this would be a quick visualization of how we would basically do that. So by introducing the last room value, a property can apply a minimum accepted rate, and all rates below the value X, if they're yieldable, they would be opening, or if the last room value would be removed, all rates would be opening. This is a quite nice functionality that our leisure properties and resorts like quite a lot. And when we speak about yield strategies, of course, I want to build my base in my hotel, especially if it's big or if it's a resort, with tour operators, with wholesalers, so I can open and close different rate codes the way I feel it's necessary for my business. However, at certain points, when I am forecasting that I'm going to be full, I also need to be able to apply different restrictions, length of stay restrictions, or close to arrival or close to departure, as mentioned earlier. So we're building a particular module that would allow us, and we actually have already the yield management model that I showed in the previous slide. But moving forward, we would be able to allow hoteliers in adding advanced yield strategies into the systems that would be basically allow the properties to open and close different rates based on unconstrained demand, hotel level forecast, room type forecast, and more, on a room and rate combination level. And few more things while closing. How can we automate even more processes than that? How can we automate not only our public prices, not only our derived prices like B2B prices, but how can we automate very interestingly? And since as of last year, I stated earlier, I'm the owner of a hotel. In resorts, it is a quite big problem that because some people would stay 20 nights, but other people would stay 40 nights, and some other people would stay 7 nights, that we would have jumps in occupancy. So it could be that in certain resorts, one day would be at 90%, and then there would be a gap, let's say 50% or at 70%. So how can we automate certain rules that would allow us to automatically open deep discounts, or let's say run a flash sales with our B2B partners like HyperGuest, and actually stimulate demand for this particular takes? Because actually this is very difficult, right? We're in resort, but here is the situation. I'm almost full and there is a gap. How can I fill it in X days before the arrival? By opening a deep discount automatically. So all these things are things that we are working on for the coming months. And last one, Enzo mentioned earlier, run of house rules. This is actually something which lots of resorts need because of the previous slide. Lots of properties would end up being stuck with having 1 or 2 night gaps. In order to avoid that, we can open automatically a run of house, or I also call it flexible room, and that's actually a screenshot from my hotel, and allow taking longer reservation by mixing different room types into one booking. Let's say 3 nights you're staying in a standard room, and then the next 5 nights you're staying in a deluxe. I can't achieve that if I don't open a flexible room, but if I wouldn't be able to actually accommodate a 8-night reservation, because my standard room is available from today and only for 3 nights, and then my deluxe room would be available only from next Saturday and for 5 nights. But how can I sell it to all these people who are looking at my destination for 6, 7, 8 nights if I don't have these flexible rooms? So these are all automations which we can achieve quite, or I wouldn't say that easy, by implementing automation tools that work in conjunction with the PMS channel manager and of course with distribution systems like HyperGuest. Thank you very much. As a closing statement, AI won't really replace humans, at least not anytime soon. But humans with AI will definitely replace humans without AI in the foreseeable future. This is de facto something that lots of expert revenue managers and also owners of big hotel chains would, I think, already agree. Thank you very much, Enzo and Aida, for inviting me in this great webinar. And it has been a great pleasure being with you guys today.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing those brilliant contents, Nico. Very good. Excellent. So, guys, we are at the end. If you have some question, you are now in the right moment. If not, let's see if there is anyone question here. I don't see anyone posting question. I'm still here anyway. Yeah. And in case, guys, let me share my screen again. All right. Okay. No question. I see. Just thank you. Thank you. Right.
Don't be shy. If you have any questions, feel free to text us on LinkedIn or
Will you
WhatsApp
share?
or Telegram or Viber or any other means of communication that you prefer.
I got some question actually. Will you share this webinar? Yes, of course. You will receive an email, thanks email follow up. I'm not sure if it's later or tomorrow, which might include also the recording of the webinar. Not sure about the slide, but if you are also looking to get the slide, you can write me personally and Aita at hyperguest.com and make sure I can provide you all the slide. Or actually, you can write am at hyperguest.com, account management meeting, and you can request the slide that we used, also the one from Nikolaos. If you want to get in touch with Nikolaos, find out about Nikolaos also through LinkedIn. Okay. Then it's possible to cancel reservation. Okay. It is possible to cancel reservation. What depend? This question is not probably clear enough to answer. But I think if you receive a booking, you cannot cancel the book. The guest can cancel the reservation, of course, depending always anyway on your cancellation policies. Thank you. After do solid chip possible to cancel? After do solid chip possible to cancel? That's why we call it a run of house, because in this way you are not lowering the standard rates. You just open a cheaper room type when it's needed.
And Enzo, please allow me to add one more thing.
Yep.
Actually, and because the screenshot you've seen is actually from my hotel about run of house room. While if you go to my website, I will tell you that I'm going to sell you the run of house cheaper because you are prepared that you will need to shift rooms, maybe even a few times during your stay. But because the run of house, Enzo, and to every one of us still hearing us, is typically open in a hotel only when there is no other room type available. So if you want to book from today and for 8 nights, because there is a mix of different rooms, only then the virtual room would be displayed or run of house. There is no reference price. So technically, it can be any price. It can be cheaper than the standard room. It can be more expensive. No one would ever know because that would be the only room available and there would be no other room available. So trust me, I managed to sell the run-up house at my hotel on even more expensive prices than selling the standard rooms. So
Really.
marketing
That
positioning, of course, is cheaper, but that is the marketing positioning only.
if we set listener, it's the best solution I've seen this year, and we will definitely engage our partner. Yeah, do it, guys, because the reality is that with HyperGuest you have an infinity features and possibility. And I think the best person that can show you all those opportunity, also according to your needs. That's why I speak openly with our manager and HyperGuest. They can find definitely some ideal solution that can help you to boost your sales in general. Okay. So what is the average direct booking commission versus hotels for independent hotels in Southern Europe or Greece specifically? And what are some high impact things that a hotel can do to increase the direct booking? If you are talking about direct booking within the B2B space, the average commission in general is defined by the hotel. So if you compare, you should compare. If you are asking about the B2B, you have to compare hyperguests in this case with B2B players, not OTAs in general. But anyway, the average commission of OTA we know is about 20%. And the hotels collaborating with hyperguests, I see they are ranging between 15, 16 to 18% commission. I've seen some hotels selling very good also at 12, 13%. But this is also depend on the type of product, the type of hotel, the appeal of the hotel, the appeal of the destination. Okay. If you are a very strong brand, a very strong, well-known hotel, you can sell very well also 10%. Okay. Again, depending on different factors.
And if you allow me to add, Enzo, because I think that Omar is in particularly asking for on the percentage of direct bookings versus OTAs. I definitely don't have the numbers because I don't really follow that. But we're seeing a very big shift as of this year. So earlier this year, Booking.com, as a test for Greece and other markets, they basically said that if you want to have non-refundable, then the only option to have non-refundable rates is to allow us, meaning Booking.com, to collect the payment. And that once a hotel gives the option to Booking.com to collect the payment, you can never control what is the final price because Booking.com will basically activate the sponsor benefit where they will chop their commission in order to make the final price lower to the guest. Now, if a hotel is on the standard commission of booking, which in Greece is 15%, and in other countries is more or less, Booking.com will chop less than if a hotel is preferred. Then Booking.com will chop from their own commission more. And if a hotel is preferred plus, and hopefully there aren't that many hotels, then Booking.com will chop from their commission even more. However, it is very important to understand, and Omar, that you are asking the question, and for everyone else on this webinar, that by doing so, Booking.com has killed the rate parity. Why? When I was starting my career in revenue management in Dubai in January 2015, it was literally all about rate parity. Rate parity, you need to be in rate parity. And I'm pretty much sure that Enzo, throughout your extensive career in revenue management, including leading companies like RateGain, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if today I distribute the same rate on my website and the same rate to Booking, then by default, Booking.com will have a lower price. And being a leisure property and allowing only flexible rates is also not feasible. So there needs to be non-refundable rates because revenue management in city hotels is completely different than revenue management in heavily leisure and tour operated destinations. So flexible rates wouldn't work only by default. This means that hotels are actually marking up by default prices for Booking.com, and therefore their price on the website is already lower. Hence, this could be motivating lots of people to book direct. And closing, sorry, Enzo, this is taking long, but I think it's
Great.
quite really interesting trend happening in many countries of Europe because of Booking.com changing the rules of the game. Now, for my particular property, I said the following. So Booking.com enforces me to mark up their price because otherwise they will end up selling cheap. What am I going? I want to have a booking engine which Booking.com can show. Because if Booking.com won't know what is the price on my website, then Booking.com will continue loving me and it will continue increasing my ranking on the OTA. So that's what I've done. I went with a very small niche booking engine, and Booking.com doesn't know the price on my website. And they push me up on the ranking, though my price on the website is lower. And for the very same reason, it is the very first time, though I'm in 10 years in revenue management, that I didn't connect to MetaSearch because I said that since I'm selling cheaper on my website, the easiest way for Booking.com to know about that is to distribute to MetaSearch. So instead of actually cannibalizing my traffic and paying 15% commission for the people who find me on Booking, that then type my hotel name on Google and then finding my property on Google Hotel Ads and clicking on brand.com and coming to my website and booking through my website, which would mean that I would pay for someone who's anyway interested to come to my website 12 or 15% to Google. Why? Because they clicked on the meta search, right? And these clicks are payable. Said I won't distribute on meta search. So if you find me on Booking and then you go to Google, you will find me on Google, but you won't see my price of the direct website on Google. So instead of cannibalizing the traffic, you will click website and you will open my website and you will go and start searching what is the price on my website until you find it is cheaper. And by doing that, I was able to achieve 43% of direct bookings. I hope that really helps. And Omar, I'm more than happy to continue this conversation with you offline.
Thank you. Thank you, Nikolaos. I'm replying just the last couple of points and then we leave. Okay. How can we get presentation? I'm sharing on my screen the email. Write an email to am@hyperguest.com. So this way you will get in touch with your account manager. You can request email the slides and the video record the webinar. Is brand.com means hotel own website? Yes, brand.com is the own website. Okay, so that's all from me. Thanks, Nicolas from Greece, Enzo from Barcelona. Have a nice Christmas, guys, to everyone. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Have a nice evening. Bye bye.